employed immigration consultants to construct for them fake proof of residency in Canada, fake rental receipts, fake housing addresses, fake hydro receipts that they submitted in their citizenship application. And even though they didn't live here, they gave us counterfeit documents suggesting that they had been here for 3 years and had satisfied the residency requirement. When I became minister, I heard a lot of these reports about this from our citizenship judges and others. We also developed a new computer program that started tracking people who had common addresses and the same unscrupulous immigration agents. I tasked the department with getting serious about enforcing against the abuse of our citizenship laws, and we did a major investigation together with the RCMP, which has identified 1,800 people who we believe fraudulently attained Canadian citizenship. We've now taken the initial steps to revoke that citizenship, to send a message that Canadian citizenship is not for sale. It's too valuable to allow lawbreakers to acquire it that way.
Now, how long is it going to take to actually remove their citizenship? We know process is always a problem when we're dealing with immigration.
Yeah. Well, good, fair point. And I can tell you that normally the process for revoking citizenship from people who obtained it fraudulently is a long, exhaustive process. Often takes several years. Historically, it's normally been done for people that work for in this case, we believe that most of the 1,800 people to whom we have sent letters expressing our intention to revoke their citizenship will likely not object. They likely won't fight it in the courts or seek appeals of our revocation of their fraudulent citizenship because we've got them dead to rights. We've got the evidence, it's clear, and most of them are living overseas. They've never lived in Canada. In that sense, they don't have a lot of stake here. And finally, we suspect a lot of these people are not going to want to publicly advertise in the courts how they fraudulently obtained Canadian citizenship. So we think we'll be able to move most of these files together pretty quickly.
Okay, so this is 1,800 people. Now we know that our immigration system has a lot of very thorny issues. And to put credit where credit is due, this was something that you inherited from previous Liberal and Conservative governments. But we have, for example, 38,000 refugee claimants in this country, failed refugee claimants, and we're not sure where they are. Is this sort of just a first step of what is going to be quite a considerable crackdown on immigration cheats?
Well, it's not the first step, actually. It's one of many steps that we've taken. For example, just earlier this month, we put into effect the new Cracking Down on Crooked Immigration Consultants Act, which makes it a criminal offense to operate as an unlicensed immigration consultant and imposes real criminal fines on those who sell bad advice or submit fraudulent documents. We've also brought in a new refugee asylum system that will remove bogus refugee claims in a matter of months rather than the several years that it currently takes. That new system goes into effect in December. We've been working with foreign governments like those of China, India, Pakistan, and the Philippines to work with us in cracking down and prosecuting bad immigration consultants in those countries. And we will be bringing forward legislation that did not pass in the last Parliament to force citizenship consultants to be registered members in good standing of a regulatory body and to streamline the process of citizenship revocation. So we've done a lot of things to fight fraud and abuse, and the reason for this is precisely because we are such an open country. We have the highest relative level of immigration in the developed world. We accept more new citizens than any other country in the world on a per capita basis, but to maintain that openness and generosity, it has to be a system governed by the rule of law.
Okay, so I want to talk about the politics of this now, though. We've heard from a lot of groups in Canada who say that we're accepting 280,000 immigrants, up from about 250 a year ago, but that's still not enough. We need 300,000. Some people say we need 1 million if we're going to maintain the current levels of age distribution in our population. But yet 80% of Canadians are telling us, no, the amount that we've got right now is just about right. Is this really intended to get the Canadian public on side? Do you need to shore up the support among Canadians for bringing more immigrants in?
No, these are separate questions. I mean, as a general rule, we in Canada have a pretty robustly pro-immigration political consensus. We don't have any xenophobic anti-immigrant parties like they do in many Western European countries. And we want to maintain that general sense of openness and hospitality for newcomers. And one of the ways we can do that is by demonstrating that our immigration system is a rules-based system, that we don't tolerate queue jumping or fraud, that it will be characterized by the fair application of the rule of law. And having said that, in the long run, our immigration policy has to be geared, I think, to our economic needs. We have a shrinking workforce.